December 25, 2017. White House prepares for attack after loyal Clinton CIA forces move to UAE and assassinate journalist. A very sobering Foreign Intelligence Service (SVR) report circulating in the Kremlin today states that United States Secret Service SS forces tasked with protecting the life of President Donald Trump have conducted a first-in-history live drill on the White House grounds in preparation for a complex attack, and that came within 24 hours of the Institute for Intelligence and Special Operations Mossad confirming that deep state-aligned CIA operatives loyal to Hillary Clinton have established a new base in the United Arab Emirates UAE, from which, during the past fortnight, they lashed out from by assassinating the highly respected Swedish journalist Baker Rabbani, whose stunning revelations were exposing Hillary's cash man. The most dangerous part would be some form of complex attack. Potentially a suicide attack with some kind of follow-on attack with the suicide bomber. That would be my most dangerous course that we want to think about. Statement of Secret Service Director Randolph Texales on December 22, 2017. According to this report, over the past year, SVR counterintelligence analysts became concerned when the former Obama-Clinton regime CIA Director John Brennan made a series of unannounced visits to the Gulf state monarchy UAE, most particularly due to former Director Brennan having an avowed hatred for President Trump, his protecting deep state-aligned FBI operatives attempting a coup against Trump, and his shockingly saying that Trump shows qualities usually found in narcissistic, vengeful autocrats, but which stands directly against the facts and reality, as President Trump is the exact opposite of what an autocrat would be, and whose administration is one of the most open and transparent in American history. Equally concerning to the SVR about former Director Brennan's visits to the UAE, this report continues, is this Gulf state monarchy's abnormally close to ties to deep state leader Hillary Clinton, and who not only openly advocated and campaigned for her being elected as U.S. President, but whose Crown Prince Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, also masterminded a group of his fellow Persian Gulf sheiks to shower upon Hillary and Bill Clinton a staggering $100 million. To address these concerns as to why former CIA Director Brennan was visiting the UAE, this report details, the SVR enlisted the investigative aid of Mossad, and whose findings revealed the presence of over 100 former CIA operatives at 2 locations in and around the UAE capital of Abu Dhabi, one being a villa near the northeastern Zayed port, and the second at a location known as the Academy, roughly a 30-minute drive from the city's downtown. Being confronted with this Mossad evidence by the SVR on Friday 22 December as to why these CIA operatives were operating within their monarchy, this report notes, UAE intelligence officials stated that they all had been hired by them to create a spy empire, and whose leader in doing so is an American citizen named Larry Sanchez, who is a former member of the CIA's clandestine services, with Sanchez, also, during the Obama-Clinton regime, being under the direct command of then CIA Acting Director Michael Morrell. Most concerning to the SVR about these CIA operatives building a spy empire in the UAE, this report continues, is that they have available for their private intelligence use a de facto air force that goes by the name of Emirates, that is one of the largest airlines in the world, having a fleet of over 240 planes, and whose destinations cover the globe. And in attempting to track where these CIA operatives were dispersing to from the UAE, this report details, SVR analysts, during the past fortnight, identified 7 of them who had traveled to Europe, 4 of whom landed in at the Frankfurt airport in Germany, 2 whom landed at the Copenhagen airport in Denmark, and 1 of whom had landed at the Stockholm-Arlanda airport in Sweden. Though all 7 of these identified, known UAE-based CIA operatives had arrived to separate destinations in Europe during early December, this report says, on 16 December, all of them were identified, targeted as being in close range, proximity to one another in Terminal 5 at the Stockholm-Arlanda airport, located in Sweden, and all of whom took separate flights to leave from but whose initial destinations led them to Emirates connections, which they flew back on to their new UE spy empire. Within 3 hours of these UE spy empire CIA operatives leaving Sweden, though, this report grimly notes, news reports began to emerge stating that the prominent Swedish independent journalist Baker Rabbani had been found dead in what local police reported were suspicious circumstances. Important to know about Swedish journalist Baker Rabbani, this report explains, is that prior to his 15 December death, he had been investigating the known communist activist Robert Aschberg, with Aschberg being a board member of the Expo Foundation, a radical leftist organization sowing chaos in Sweden funded by George Soros, with Aschberg, also, being known as Hillary's cash man for his funneling tens of millions of dollars of Soros cash directly to Hillary Clinton and her deep state organization that's attempting to overthrow President Trump in a coup. To anyone attempting to investigate Robert Aschberg, however, this report says, the SVR would have, most certainly, warned them not do so unless they were a powerful nation-state, and most certainly not a journalist, as is due to this George Soros-funded communist being the grandson of the feared Swedish Red banker Olof Aschberg, who had helped his good friend and mass murderer Joseph Stalin launder the money that the Bolsheviks had stolen from Russia before the Russian Revolution. Too late, though, this report continues. Did Swedish journalist Baker Rabbani learn the grave danger he had placed himself in by investigation the criminal communist Robert Aschberg, but with journalist Rabbani soon discovering the error of what he had done after he attempted to interview Aschberg, and that after which, journalist Rabbani shockingly discovered that his entire Facebook account had been deleted, including all chat messages, which in normal cases would remain visible, and his then receiving a warning from a contact of his in the Swedish security service telling him of the grave danger he was in, but that came too late to save his life. To the greatest danger facing the American people regarding Hillary Clinton's deep state killing of Baker Rabbani, this report concludes, is that the U.S. mainstream propaganda media has become her subservient lapdog for fear of what will become of them should they, also, attempt to investigate her criminality, but that, most assuredly, doesn't even come close to describing President Trump, whose complete non-fear of these demonic globalist monsters trying to destroy him now borders on the reckless, but that one hopes, and prays to, his heroic Secret Service protectors will be able to defend his life against when they come to kill him, but that, one can imagine, this fearless President Trump might even be waiting for. Go ahead, Hillary. Make my day. President Donald Trump.